Hi, welcome to PHP and MySQL video. This is a list of suggestions how you can use this video. The notes for this video can be found at this URL, which is loaded here. And of course, we are doing Ajax. So if you scroll it down, scroll all the way down to Ajax examples, we are going to do example 4. Okay, in example 4, what happened is we are going to create a file called example4.htm. And in this file is going to call a file called, is going to call example 008a select changed.php. Basically, this file is just example 008a select, but we change it. Okay. And of course, for those of you who still remember example 8, which is on top, which is in step 3, AC select, we have that file. We're going to use that. And if for those of you who remember that, we actually use two files to make things happen. One file is eg008a connect database. Okay. And another file is database error, AB database error. So we need those files because if something goes wrong, we need those two files. Okay, we're just going to copy those two files. And of course, they connect to a database, right? So that would connect to the connect database, connect to the database, which we can access here. And the username is Harry. I'm going to Control-C, Control-V. You can type. And the password is elbow monkey. I'm going to Control-C, Control-V, and you can type. And of course, the connect database would, oops, let me make this guy. Of course, the connect database, go to Kung Fu Panda shop and look at the products and categories. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is oops, let me fix this. I want to work backward, okay? I want to copy the connect database. I want to copy the database error. Okay, and we still keep everything in Ajax folder, although technically it's a different example, but they don't interfere with each other, so it's fine. I'm just going to leave it here. So go back to your C10 myPHP, example 8. We are going to copy 3 files. One is the AA connect database, one is AB database error, and one is AC select. So I'm going to use the control key to select them and then copy. Come back here, Ajax, paste, and AC select should work. Okay, I'm going to work backward. Okay, I'm going to work backward. I'm going to we copy the files. I'm going to check the. Oops, sorry, it's AC select, not AA select. What am I talking? What am I make a typo here? Sorry, AC select, AA connect database. Okay. All right. So if we look at old AC select, it should work because we just copy from. So let's go back, reload, AC select. It works, right? Because that's the old AC select file. Okay. All right. We are going to rename the AC select file to AC select changed. Okay, which is our plan. Right click, rename, changed, and open this AC select changed. Sorry, edit with Notepad++. All right, I'm going to close this, come over here, reload. Of course, the AC select change still works. Okay. It doesn't work very well because the main.css is not there. We don't really need it. Okay, but we're going to make some changes to this file later. That's why we rename it now. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to create 004 HTM. Okay. And to do that, we are going to just copy example 3, EG003 from ajax folder, right-click copy, right-click paste, and then rename this to example 004.htm. Okay, and then open this example 4 in Notepad++. And then we can start making changes. Example, we're going to change the title of example 4 to ajax db select. Okay, and I'm going to delete the second function because I don't need it. So delete the time function too, and just keep with time function, but change the time function to query function, Q-U-E-R-Y, query function. Okay, I want to keep this whole thing here because I really like the try catch because I don't want to rewrite it again. But before we even do anything, let's just comment out the whole thing here so that it won't mess up. Because we are going to make changes, right? We are going to, let me just put a comment here. Okay, we are going to comment out the whole ajax part. Okay, and then go to the content. Let's delete the whole form. Do a H2 here. Connect to database and select. Control S to save. Come back here. Example 4. Nothing happens. Okay. So we are going to create a form, although we don't really need a form now, but we may need a form in the next example. So we're going to create a form, and in the form, there's only one button. What it does is to just call the query function. And it has one button. On click, we call the query function. So the type, I'm going to call it button. On click is going to call the query function here. I'm just going to copy this, but before I go there, I'm going to uncomment out the alert, uncomment the alert, so at least the function does something, so I know that it works. And the value, I'm going to call it query. Control S to save, reload. Okay, so now if you click on this, you're going to get a hello because the function is called. Okay, remember the objective of Ajax is to update part of the file without reloading the whole page. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create a div tag here and say we are just going to change the div tag by replacing it with the output from the database query. Okay, so we are going to do a BR line break, create a div tag, and give it ID. Okay. And we have to give it a unique ID. Let's just call it ajax div. And when query function is called, we are going to query the database and put the output here. Okay. Now we are going to uncomment the ajax part. So we create the ajax request object, and on state change function, if it's 4, we are going to first create a ajax display, and that is going to be the to use the document get element by ID to get ID here. I'm sure everybody who did JavaScript used document get element by ID, which is case sensitive. Okay, make sure you type the uppercase and lowercase correctly. And then we put an ID inside, so that is going to be returned here. And then we're going to make use of this. Since this is just an ID tag, so we just say inner HTML equal to the response. But what is the response? We have to send something, right? So we send this get. We send nothing over, but send this to eg008c lowercase select changed. Control S to save. Now we have to look at 8c select change, because when you try to get the information from that file is going to be put here, which has HTML tag on top, HTML tag below. So you don't need all the information. So if you come over here, let's see what we need. We need the database connection. We need the selection, but we do not need the HTML tag. We do not need the body tag. We don't need all this. All we need is the table. So we need to get rid of the stuff we don't need. So let's get rid of from doc type all the way to the BR tag here. Delete them. And then anything below the table tag from div to HTML, delete them. Control S to save. Keep your finger crossed. Reload. Okay, and then when you click on the query HTML button, the things display here. But I don't need a hello anymore, so let's comment out the hello. This is for error checking. Control S to save. You cannot reload, of course, so you have to go back. And then it works. Okay. All right, probably it's a good idea to do a HTML validation because I haven't been doing that. So let's go and view source. Select all. Control S to select. Sorry, not Control S. Control S is safe. Control A to select all. Control A. Control C to copy. Go Google HTML validation. Come back here. Validate by direct input. Control V to paste. Check. Yay, no error message. Fantastic, passed. So your file is done. Okay. That's a good place to stop. But this one just do a query. But what if you want user to key in something into a text box, get the information from the text box, pass to the search file? How to do that? Okay. So in the next example, we are going to do that. Okay. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back.